Hey, it's Mike here. The other day I posted something on Facebook. It was a picture of my whiteboard. It said, "Why not you?" And what I was trying to get with that post and why I put it up for myself on my whiteboard was, sometimes we see other people achieving things and accomplishing goals and doing great things with their lives, and we go, "Oh man, I wish I could be like them." And well, why not you? This is a question you have to ask yourself, right? And this is something that I've kind of been digging deep into the last few years, let's say. I spent many years in the construction industry and always thought, man, I know there's something more for me out there. And I know there's other people out there. But here's the thing that I've discovered recently is when you switch to something that you feel is going to move your life forward, it's got to be something that you're truly passionate about, or else it's going to seem like a lot of work. Now, I give you a couple of examples, and this made me go back and think about, my childhood when I was a teenager and that sort of thing. Some of you may not know, and some of you do, but when I was in high school, I used to DJ. I used to DJ house parties, and I loved it. I remember buying my first stereo system when I was 14. I worked part-time, and I put this stereo on layaway. I was going there every week. I got a paycheck and give the store owner another $100, another $150 until I paid that thing off and brought it home. And then I bought one piece of equipment at a time. First was this mixer from Radio Shack. Now you'll know that store as The Source. I'm dating myself here. And then I had a turntable with that stereo system. And then I remember I saved up like 600 and something dollars to go buy a Technics 1200 turntable. It was like top of the line turntable for DJing at the time. I took the subway downtown Toronto to Yonge and Bloor. I can't remember the name of the shop or the store that I went to. Bought this turntable, 6:30, 7 o'clock at night in the wintertime. It was dark out. And I rode the subway all the way home just guarding this turntable with my life. And I had a passion for it. And I would come home and when I was a kid, I lived with my mom and it was a two-bedroom. My sister lived there. She had one room. And I actually had to share a room with my mom. So I had my stereo equipment jammed in the corner of this small bedroom. But it didn't matter to me. I made it work. I set this equipment up and I would sit in my room for 3 or 4 hours every day after school and just practice DJing and mixing. And I would go downtown Toronto on Saturday mornings, again, by the subway, go to these little record shops and buy these, records and sample records that weren't even sold in regular stores. These were all brought in from Europe and the US and from wherever else, and just go flip through these things and buy all these records that nobody really knew about. And I would make, again, I'm dating myself, mixtapes for people I worked with for free. I didn't charge them. And I had a passion for it, and I did whatever I had to do to get better at it. And that's what I'm talking about. Now, unfortunately, back in that time, my mom at the time was, go get an education, go get a trade, stop messing around with this DJ stuff. Where are you going to go with this? So I never pursued it as a career, to get into sound production, music production, whatever. But that's the past. And so what I'm getting at is when you get into something that you're truly passionate about, it doesn't seem like work. Another example I'll give you. Some people know back in the day, I loved motorcycles. I loved Harley Davidson motorcycles. And I don't have one today, and I'm going to tell you a little secret. And some of the people watching this that know me for years are probably going to be really surprised with this. I love the bikes. I love the way they look. I love the way they sound. But I'll be completely honest with you. I didn't really enjoy riding. I didn't like it. Bugs slapping you in the face and on the legs and that sort of thing. Worrying about the rain, hitting potholes. I just wanted to get from A to B, get off that thing, do what I had to do there, get back on the bike and go home kind of thing. I really didn't enjoy riding motorcycles. I loved everything else about it, but I didn't love motorcycles. And this is why I did not pursue it after a certain age. This is why I don't have a motorcycle anymore, because I just don't enjoy it. So that's a little surprise to some of you. So this is what I'm getting at. It's got to be a passion that you really want to do something. And sometimes people abuse that word. I'm not passionate about it. I'm not passionate about it. You have to be careful using that word, right? Do you enjoy doing it? Does it fuel you? Does it give you energy when you go do it? This certain thing, or does it drain you when you get home, or when you're wherever it is that you're going to the place that you're doing this particular thing? Does it drain you? And then the word procrastination comes up. one of my mentors and a good guy that I communicate and follow with online, Ben Osterveld. I remember sitting in one of his sessions, and he said procrastination is a myth. Procrastination just means you don't really want to do it. And I've heard this example many times where when you want to get up, or when you're planning a vacation, you'll get up at 4:30 in the morning. You'll sleep with your bags to get to the airport on time. But man, if you got to get up at 4:30 in the morning to go to the gym, you'll make every excuse not to do it. So it's not procrastination. It's just you don't want to do it. You don't really want to do it. So that's something you truly desire to do. And some other things that I went through, like when I jumped into the real estate space here, I knew I had to become a better speaker. So I joined Toastmasters and I practiced the skill of speaking and moving on. And then we had contests, and I entered these contests. And did I pursue those contests anymore? No, because I didn't really want to compete. I just wanted to learn how to be a better speaker, how to present in a more professional manner and connect with people that I'm speaking to. So I didn't really want to get into competitions. I wasn't too concerned about trophies and awards and that sort of thing. So I didn't pursue it any further. And something else that I just read recently, and I'm actually in the middle of reading this book called Drive. It talks about intrinsic reward and extrinsic reward. Now, what that is, intrinsic is that doing something doesn't make you feel good, all right? Or are you doing it because you get paid for it, or there's a reward, an external reward for it? And there were studies done with donating blood, and they tried to pay people to this. It was done many, many years ago. I believe it was in the U.S., and they found that once they started offering payment to people that were donating blood, the number of people that donated dropped, because it took away that sense that people would get of doing something good. It felt good inside to go donate blood. It did something for their soul, their spirit, whatever you want to call it. So when they were getting paid for it, it didn't feel so good, so they didn't go anymore. So this is something you have to look at too when you're looking for something that makes you ask that question, why not me? Why can't I do that? Is that something that you're truly going to wake up to every morning and say, listen, it's going to be hard today, but man, is it ever going to be worth it? The end result is going to be so worth it. And this is where people will hold on for 3 years, 4 years, 5 years while they're struggling to get to that level of success. They'll hold on because it's what they really want. And something that really bothers me, and it's something that I've been looking at too, is don't quit. You can't quit. Well, what if you're doing something that you don't like? What if it's something that you thought you wanted to do because everybody else told you it was something good? So many people have these goals, but is it really their goal, or is it something that they think they should be doing because everybody else said they should? So they're struggling and they're grinding. That word grinding, I don't like it. That word grinding, like, why? It shouldn't be grinding if you love what you're doing. You're putting in an effort. You're putting in hard work to get to that end result. So I just wanted to share that with you. These are just some thoughts that I've been going through. I'm looking down here. I'm to be honest with you. I got some notes on my phone. I'm at the gym and I think of things and I make notes about it. And I'm going on a retreat in a couple weeks. It's a 5-day off the grid retreat. I can't tell you, I booked this back in January, and I've been wanting to do one of these for the last couple of years now, and it is with Ben Osterveld as well. And I'm so excited to see what's going to come out of it. It's 5 days. You disconnect from everything. It's in some cabin, an hour and 45 minutes or something north of Sudbury. I don't even know where we're going. So there's no hydro, satellite, or something like that. I don't know. It's really off the grid. We're staying in cabins, so we're not staying out in the forest, amongst the animals. But yeah, it's a real time to disconnect, and we're going to dive deep and see what it is we truly want. Because once you figure that out, it's crazy. It's unstoppable what you can do. You see so many people that have succeeded. How did they get there? Another example, like restaurants. You see restaurants, one will succeed and the other one doesn't. What did this restaurant have that was so much different? You know what it had? It had an owner that was passionate and driven to succeed, connected with the people that came into that restaurant. They got an intrinsic reward from serving delicious food to people. It wasn't just about money. It wasn't just about flash and pizzazz and the next gimmick. It was about getting that intrinsic reward. and feeling good about what they were doing. All right, I'm going to leave you with that. And hey, I don't know. This is my first video. This may turn into something. It may turn into a podcast. It may turn into more videos. I'm not sure. Let me know what you think. This is the first one. I didn't rehearse. I didn't do anything like that. Nothing flashy. Just kind of reading off some notes and off the top of my head. And, yeah, go. Oh, sorry, wrong side. Go Vikings. I'm a Vikings fan, so we're 1-0 so far this year. It's almost as bad as being a Leaf fan. But anyways, I'll leave you with that, everyone. All right, all the best. Give me some feedback here. I'd love to hear what you think. Talk to you soon. Take care.